This is one of the ways that you can move to Germany legally, and in 5 years you can even get the German passport. Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Olawande Odukoya. I am a Nigerian. I currently live in Berlin, Germany, and I am a content creator. I share tips on how to move to Germany. I am also a baker by profession, so I also share tips on how to bake, how to cook, and all of that on my YouTube page and also on my other social platforms. I also run a small business on the side here in Germany. Yes, I finally registered my business here in Germany. If you know you want to learn how to register your business yourself in Germany, please drop a comment below. If you have not subscribed, please do to subscribe. I am begging you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I share a lot of tips that is very helpful for you. If you know someone who is trying to move from their home country to Germany, please send them this video, because in this video I'll be explaining in details how to move to Germany through the Ausbildung route from your home country. First, let's talk about what Ausbildung is. A lot of people do not know what Ausbildung means, and this is one of the ways that you can move to Germany legally, and in 5 years you can even get the German passport. Now, what is Ausbildung? Ausbildung is a paid vocational training program in Germany where you work and study at the same time. The duration is between 2 to 3.5 years, and you get paid between 800 euros to 1,003 depending on the program you're doing, and there are a lot of programs you can do in a lot of sectors. You can work in IT, you can work in construction, you can work in gastronomy. Gastronomy is basically like kitchen or anything in the food industry. You can work in IT, you can work in electrical and mechanical engineering. You can also work in nursing. That one is very popular here. Like, a lot of people come from their home country. The nursing one is very common here, but I feel like if I were you and I want to apply for Ausbildung, I wouldn't go for nursing, because you can actually go in other sectors. You don't have to do nursing. There are other sectors in farming, in carpentry, in hotel, in restaurants. The field where you can work in Ausbildung is just so unlimited. There are a lot of Ausbildung you can apply right from your home country to come to Germany. So first, if you want to apply for Ausbildung, you need to know what you want to do before you start applying, right? Before the end of this video, I'll be sharing a few websites where you can apply for Ausbildung right from your home country and move to Germany legally. The good thing about Ausbildung is that once you apply and you get admitted into the program, after 2 years or after your program, there's job waiting for you. Number one, don't forget that you get paid during the course of your Ausbildung between 800 to 1,003 euros. And after your Ausbildung, you get a job. Most times, the same company that you did your Ausbildung with, they would still employ you at the end of the day. Most companies here in Germany, they tend to retain you after your Ausbildung, but it's not compulsory. If you feel like, oh, you don't want to stay in that company, you can look for a job elsewhere. But the thing is, you have a job security, because if you have Ausbildung, like, this is like a skilled work, you know. A lot of people need that in Germany. A lot of companies need people who can, do this kind of job in nursing, in IT, in carpentry, in farming even. So now you want to move to Germany through Ausbildung. How do you do it? In this video, I'll be showing you step by step how to apply for your Ausbildung. First, you do not need a university degree to apply for Ausbildung. You do not need that. If you have a university degree, it's a plus, but it's not one of the required documents that you need to be able to, for them to admit you into the program. You only need like WAEC or NECO for people who are in Nigeria. And if you're not in Nigeria, you only need like your O level or A level, so to say. I don't know what people call it in other countries, but for the sake of this video, I'll be using Nigeria as an example, because I come from Nigeria, and a lot of people who follow me, who ask me a lot of questions, they are Nigerians. But it's the same process, okay? So first, you don't need to think deep about this one. The number one thing you need for your Ausbildung is the language, the German language. If you want to come to Germany through the Ausbildung route, you need to be able to speak the language. It's not just having a certificate. because sometimes people can have certificate and cannot speak the language. Number one thing you need to do is learn the language. If you're watching me right now, go and download Duolingo, start learning the language. It depends on what kind of Ausbildung you want to apply for. Like I said earlier, there's nursing, there's IT. Different Ausbildung have different requirements. But from what I've heard and what I've seen, the stories I've heard from a lot of people, it's always better for you to have at least B2. Some companies accept B1, but let me just tell you the truth. B1 is not enough. If you want your application to be fast, Ausbildung and getting a place faster, seriously, just go and get your B2. Be able to speak the language. Practice. There are different ways to learn the language. You can learn with Goethe. And from what I know, every single country have a German school everywhere. Like, for example, in Lagos, there's a German school in Lagos. In fact, a lot of it. And it takes about 6 to 12 months to be able to speak and learn German up to B2. I mean, in my opinion, it also depends on you as a person, how you're willing to learn. I know people who do not have the certificate at all, but they can speak very good German. And I know people who have the certificate, but they cannot speak German. So it depends on you. I advise that you try to speak the language. Even if you are in your home country, there is social media. You can go live with other people who are also trying to learn language. I feel like that was what even helped me to be able to speak the kind of German I am speaking now. Of course, I am in the school. I am going to German school. I'm currently in my B1 level and I speak German, but I'm not there yet, but I know that, okay, I'll get there. So now you've written your exam and you've passed it. That is your number one thing that you need on the list of the documents, your German certificate, either B1 or B2. But like I said earlier, B2 is highly recommended so that when other people are applying with B1, you will apply with B2. And when you have B2 German, you can speak. You will be able to speak and express yourself. You'll be able to talk to the interviewer without feeling any stress because now you can express yourself very well in the language. Then what else do you need? You need your curriculum vitae. It's called Lebenslauf in German. Your Lebenslauf, everything has to be in German. Your work experience, your background, your skills, where you're from, your name, your CV. The next thing you need is your motivation letter. Motivation letter is, why do you want to come to Germany? Why do you want to apply for this Ausbildung? Okay, I love taking care of people, or I like to work with computer, or I already have a background in so. You have to explain. You have to be able to convince them that, yes, you're ready. You really want to work as a nurse or maybe a dentist, I don't know, whatever you want to do. You have to be able to write a motivation letter. It's called Anschreiben in German. You have to be able to write it, everything, you write it in German, and yeah. You need either WAEC or NECO or your A-level if you're not Nigerian. But like I said earlier, I'm doing this video and using Nigeria as a case study. Then last but not the least, what you need is your passport. Obviously, if you're traveling, you need your passport to be able to travel. You need to make sure that your passport is up to date. You have enough date on it. Not that your passport is going to expire in 6 months' time and you're now applying. Especially if you're applying from Nigeria, it kind of takes a while sometimes for you to be able to get your date, your interview date with the embassy. So if you're applying for Ausbildung, please make sure that you have enough years on your passport to be able to apply, okay? All of these documents need to be in German. You can check online. There are people who can help you translate your document to be able to, use it to apply for your Ausbildung. Then, of course, your Lebenslauf, that's your CV, and your Anschreiben, everything has to be in German. So now that you have all your documents, what's the next thing you need to do? Very easy. Now you need to find an Ausbildungsplatz. I'm speaking German right now, but it's called in German because, I speak German and sometimes I just join it together, but you understand what I mean. An Ausbildung place where you want to apply to. You need to apply to different places. There are a few websites. I'll be writing this website on the screen so that you can see it. These are the few websites that you can apply for your Ausbildung. Some are private and some are government, but you need to apply to everything because when you're applying for Ausbildung, it's like a job hunting, okay? You will get rejection. Don't let that stop you from applying. It's not a walk in the park, okay? you will get rejection. They will tell you that, oh, ensure they gonna lie that niche. It means that I'm sorry, we cannot accept you. Our place is full. Da 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 da. And I always tell people that if you want to apply for Ausbildung, find somebody who is already in Germany, or find a community who is in Germany. I have a community here in Germany of people who are learning German, or people who are not in Germany but they're trying to learn German and they also want to move to Germany. I have a community. You can join my community where we motivate you, we help you. It's free. We are not charging. I am not charging money from anybody. The only thing is, just whenever we post video like this, watch it, digest it, make use of it. Okay? Now, how does the community help you? In your community, you can say, oh guys, I have an interview coming up. Who would help me prepare? We can do that for you. We can, like, there are a lot of materials online on how to even pass your German exam, how to attend interview, the kind of questions you need to prepare for, how to face your interviewer, how to talk like you know what you're saying. Do you understand? Because sometimes all you need is confidence in this life. If you don't have confidence, you're not going to get the job. Sometimes you have confidence, but because another person has confidence more than you, or maybe some companies are just like that. Sometimes you attend an interview and you know that you did well, but the next thing they are telling you that, oh, ensure they go on lie nicht, which is like really bad. That kind of, tend to affect your self-esteem, but you're not going to let that stop you. Okay, one no does not mean no forever. Everybody gets rejection. Okay, I've gotten rejection so many times. That doesn't stop me to stop living. I keep applying, and one day, good news. Okay, so now you've applied to so many places. You started getting interview. If you apply and you're not getting your interview, you need to revisit your CV. If you apply for an Ausbildung Platz and you get an automated rejection email, you need to work on your CV, because there's a system, there's a way your CV has to look for you to be able to pass that stage. So you need to prepare your CV very well. You need to make it clear enough so that when a company sees it, oh my God, they'll be like, oh, we want this person. Sometimes interview takes up to 4 to 5 steps. It depends on the company. Some companies just do 2 to 3 steps. But another way you can come to Germany through the Ausbildung is going through an agency. But have it in mind that when you go through an agency, you're not going to get the same money as someone who applied directly to the company. Okay, sometimes agency charges, I don't know, I'm not sure, because I'm not really sure, but I know that agency, they charge a fee, but they still help you get an Ausbildung Platz. Once you get the congratulations message, you're going to also get your Ausbildungsvertrag, which is your work contract. This is what you're going to take to the embassy. You have to find an interview date. You have to, once you get an interview date, all these documents I mentioned earlier, everything, you have to still take it down to the embassy, and you have to, talk to them. Oh, why are you going to Germany? Oh, I got an Ausbildung Platz. I feel like interview is like one of the easiest things if you already gotten an Ausbildungsvertrag. That's your work contract. Okay, it's going to be easy. Keine Angst, keine Sorge. You're good. You're okay. You're good to go. Then what next you will need to do? Now that you've gotten your visa, you need to move to Germany. Find an apartment. Most times, the company who you are working with, they will help you find a place first, maybe for a few, but it's always advisable to find an apartment right from your home country. And I would advise you, please, if you want to come to do an Ausbildung here in Germany, try to avoid big cities, because I feel like because the competition there is quite large, like is a lot. The job market is not smiling in Berlin, in Frankfurt, in all those big cities. So if you've been applying, I'm not saying you should not apply, because you might get lucky. If your application is good enough, you might be lucky and you get an Ausbildung Platz in Berlin. But you don't have to come to Berlin. There are a lot of cities in Germany that they are even looking for people. The only requirement they want you to do is just learn German, just be able to speak the language. If you can speak the language, before you know it, they already signed your document and say, oh yeah, please come, we need you. Okay, what else do you need to live in Germany? You need your accommodation, you need your insurance, and of course you need some savings, because the first apartment you'll be living in, nobody's going to pay for you. Your Ausbildung Platz is not going to pay for you. You're going to pay by yourself. Now, let me make this clear. I've been getting a lot of messages saying, oh, do I need a block account to be able to do Ausbildung? I don't know where you got your question from or where you got your information from. If you want to do Ausbildung in Germany, you do not need a block account. You do not need to pay anybody. If you go online and a company or a website or anything like that is asking you to pay, please do not pay. Amen? Do not pay. Do not pay anybody to find a job. Your sense and your brain, your commitment, your everything is enough for you to get your Ausbildung plan. It might take a while. It might take a while. You don't expect to apply for a job today and then not get it tomorrow. Sometimes it takes 1 month, sometimes it takes 2 months. Okay? So if you want to do Ausbildung in Germany, you do not need a block account. Block account is only for people who are coming to study. Just for study. For example, you can come to Germany to study the German language for a whole year. You need a block account. You can come to study in Germany for your BSc or your Masters. You need a block account. But if you're coming to work and study at the same time, you know, this Ausbildung program, I'll explain how it works earlier. It's a program where you learn and you work at the same time. And after your study, you get a job almost immediately. In fact, immediately, your company, the company you're working with will retain you most of the time, 80% of the time. If you're coming to Germany through the Ausbildung route and somebody told you that you're supposed to pay a block account or something like that, no way. This is something you can do by yourself. And this is why I created this platform, to be able to help people. Because I noticed that people would, I don't know, I guess people are scared or they don't have enough information. And information is key. Information is key. You can just Google and find the right information for you. Of course, there are a lot of false information out there. But as someone that lives in Germany, I have made my research. I know people who are doing this program. Nobody has ever paid anybody to do their program. Even for agency, if you come through an agency, it's just that agency will reduce the amount of money you make per month. I mean, I'm not sure how much they charge. I can't really speak for them, but I know for sure that agencies will charge you for, you know, but they will not collect the cash from you. It's just like a commission based on how much you're making. I am not sure, but I think you also need like a proof of accommodation. It's not like compulsory. So after your Ausbildung, what will happen? You get a full work contract, you get a resident permit, and at that point, because of the new law in Germany, you might be able to apply for your resident permit, which is so amazing. Because if you live here for 3 years legally, you're paying your due, regardless whether you're a student or you're working here. If you've spent 3 years in Germany, you can apply for a permanent residency. And after the permanent residency, if you spend 2 years more, in total 5 years, you will be able to apply for the German passport. Now, these are the things that you need to be able to move to Germany, settle legally. Don't let anybody lie to you. If right now you don't have anything that you're doing and you know that you have some time to spare to be able to learn the language, because that's the first step. If you can learn the language in your home country, it's just going to be more easier for you to be able to come to Germany. And so, what do you need to avoid? Please, guys, avoid agents that are telling you that they will take 50% of your pay. That's not real. These are thieves. They just want to take your money. Avoid agencies that are telling you to pay any sum of money. You are not supposed to pay any money to anybody. This is Ausbildung, okay? It's not a school where you have to pay to come and learn. It's a program where you learn and get paid at the same time. And if you feel like you have some money, you want to move to Germany to come and study, I will advise you, instead of going for that master's, you already have your degree, go for the language school. Ausbildung is not the only way for you to move to Germany. You can move to school here, you can move to work here, even if you speak English. But now the options are limited because a lot of people are now speaking German. So if you don't speak German, it's like they don't want you here. Do you understand? So if you know that you want to come to Germany, there are other ways for you to come. You can come through the language visa, yeah, to come and learn German from beginning to C2. You can even be able to speak up to the native level, like you will sound like a native. So that's another way to move to Germany. If you want me to drop a video on how to move to Germany through the language course visa, please drop in the comment section. I'll make another video and explain in details what exactly you need. And if you want another video on CV samples or things that you didn't find clear in this particular video, but I've tried my best to explain in details everything you need step by step. So now, after getting your visa, what do you need? You need to book your flight, get an apartment, move to Germany legally, start your school, and start working in Germany. Seriously, guys, I wish you the best of luck. I've been getting a lot of messages. These messages are so overwhelming. And I said today I have to put it upon myself to make this video and explain in details what you need. If there's anything that you do not understand, I am always here to help you. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe. If you have any question, please write it in the comment section. You can also check me out on TikTok or Instagram at Olawande Odukoya on TikTok and on Instagram at Modestdio. So if you need anything at all, please do not hesitate to send me a message. Sometimes if I get a lot of messages asking the same question, I cannot respond to each person, and that's where I come here to come and explain. Please do to subscribe and put on that notification button so that you don't miss any updates. Like I said earlier, if you have any question, please write it in the comment section or send it to my DM. And yeah, we have come to the end of this video. I am always glad to help and to always support my people. If you're in Nigeria or any other country and you need help moving to Germany, please send me a DM, and yeah, we'll see you again. Tschüssi!